Hello and welcome. I'm Van and today we're going to showcase my Pearl Deceptor Rush deck. The aim of the deck is to get Pearl Deceptor down on turn 2 through a combination of Claire and Ushers. That's mainly more or less the sole goal of the deck. It can go into a second Pearl Deceptor in round 2, can go through Silent Usher and Slipknotter during round 1, but we are spending a lot of resources just to get Pearl Deceptor down on turn 2. All the actions are built around just seeing the cards we want to see on turn 1 and turn 2 to increase the likelihood of getting it to work. So the deck doesn't do much else than simply just that. In order to do this, we obviously are using Claire to get a second gem down on turn 1, to use Fatima to get gems that we want to see, so we can start a hand with 3 gems, different gems, and then we can use Fatima to get the other 2. We're using Francisco to move the gems around, so we also can get a gem on Palmer on turn 1 in order to substitute Fatima into Fiona and Isabel to get double blend, so we can either get double Usher or double Pearl Deceptor. And it is important to get double Pearl Deceptor because we don't have any level 5s, so we can use Beth to upgrade our Francisco into level 5. If we just had Leilani at level 5, we wouldn't need to do all of this stuff in order to get this to work, but here we are. Here we are. And then you can go into Reggie to increase the likelihood of not getting disrupted. And of course, we have Winona. For round 2, it's defense and just a level 5, so we can get a second Pearl Deceptor out and just rush our opponent down before they can do anything about it. And I think that's more or less all I wanted to showcase. We have blend searches, we have collects, we have draws, we have super searches, super blend searches, and super draws to increase the likelihood of seeing what we want to see during the first 2 turns. All right, let's get into actually showcasing it because I think it makes more sense to see how it works there. All right, let's get into this. I just set up the hero, so let's get into our opening hand. We already see Pearl Deceptor. We have the blend search for Usher. We have 2 different gems. Yeah, so the thing is, I kind of want to just put Pearl Deceptor on the bottom with the super draw, because it's more likely that we see an Usher or another way into Usher for the 2 Ushers that just from the hand, and then we can use Fiona and Isabel to get the double Pearl Deceptor anyway, which we need to do at some point. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we do see the 3 different gems, so that's important. So that's checked off. And you can say, if I miss an Usher right now, it's just delayed for turn 3, so it's not the end of the world. Let's see what we see at the top. Yeah, so we do see the Super Blend Search, which is all we needed to see. Yeah, so we have everything we need. Let's get the Nocturna gem on Claire, then the Cryo on Francisco, move the Nocturna down, and the Cryo gem over. And then use Fatima to find what we need, and that's a Capro and an Electrogem. And then we use Palmer to substitute Fatima into Fiona and Isabel. All of this wouldn't be necessary if we just had Heilani at level 5, but here we are. And then just use Selma or something. Yeah, Fiona and Isabel, and then we find our double Pearl Deceptor. Always double check if they have cancels in their opening hand, so play the actions before you use your heroes. I'm a bad teacher. Right? We find double Usher on these actions, and that's all more or less the limit of what we can allow ourselves. Right, so that's turn 1, and that's everything for turn 1. Let's go for turn 2. All right, so what we want to start with doing is put an Aqua Gem on Fiona and Isabel to get an Usher out, and put a Capra Gem on Francisco, or just one of the gems that we need. Then we deblend, use Palmer to get into Beth. And now you can either choose to Usher directly onto Beth to put another gem on Claire, Francisco, or just use best effect to discard a Pearl Deceptor to make Francisco level 5. There we go. There we go. I'm just gonna Usher, put the Electro Gem on. What happens there? There we go. And then just use the free gem movements of Francisco to move all the gems over to him. And there you have it. A level 5 Francisco for level 5 on turn 2. And that's more or less everything the deck wants to do. If we go on, we can like continue to try and set up a Slipknotter, I guess. But the deck is not really geared towards it. Like it's possible to do, but because of like we're running so many actions in the deck to increase the likelihood of seeing what we want to see for turn 1 and turn 2, we also run kind of we limit ourselves because of the 5 limit actions per round as well. We just don't naturally draw into the resources we want to see because we're using the actions to get there. You do hope that you just like put so much pressure on with a Pearl Deceptor for 5-7 damage on turn 1 that you don't really need to consider what they are up to, so to speak. Yeah, that's more or less everything I want to say about that. Yeah, because you're just gonna keep running into all these resources. And then we have the Electro Gem. So for like turn 16 and 17, it's finally there and you can get a Slipknotter out. If it's turn 2, round 2, you just switch Claire into Winona and put down a second Pearl Deceptor to put even more pressure on. But at this point, like, your opponent is likely to have outscaled you anyway. So that's everything I wanted to showcase. Pearl Deceptor Rush for turn 2. It's pretty brutal, pretty brutal. I understand if this is something that wants to be nerfed. It seems to be in need of a nerf, and that's fair enough. Thank you for watching.